Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Pink Pig, and I am joined by Nigel Woodard. And this is a special evening where we are having not only our first ever end of season award ceremony, but we're also having a mystery box live draw for the racing tonight. We will have multiple people join us in the stream, and I'm trying to figure out if Woody has managed to do something. Has Woody managed to do something?
Yes, I have.
Yes, he has. So Woody is now going to give us a bit of an itinerary of the evening's agenda.
So first off, we're going to start with the introductions to the event, as James has just done. In 5 minutes' time, we're going to be joined by Benjamin Eck and Alex Zachdel, going through the rFactor team. 7:15, we'll be joined by Derek Brough with the introduction on what the FRL Limpets team is all about.
We are two of the Limpets as well.
Yes, we are.
Well, you not so much anymore.
7:25 will be joined by the grasscutter himself, Christopher Gedman, going through the PlayStation 5 awards with a review of last season and the plans for the next season. And my cameras just fell down.
If it went smoothly, it wouldn't be FRL.
It would. 7:25-8, we're joined by the man himself, Sergio Azario, with the PC Awards, and again a review of the last season and the plans for next season. The all-anticipated draw at 7:45 for the mystery box race event, which is happening this evening.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 8:10, the practice server goes live. And then if you all hang around, we'll then have a Patreon raffle draw and then the closing ceremony with myself and the Pink Pig.
Well, that is a fun-packed evening, if you don't say. I've even dressed for the occasion.
So did I.
Yeah, he's dressed. And between Christmas and New Year's, that is by no mean feat. I would much prefer to be left in my pyjamas all week. But I decided to dress up. I could have shaved, but why would I do that? And it was your birthday between Christmas and New Year, wasn't it?
It was my birthday yesterday.
So when you said you had a friend's party to attend, that was yours?
Yes.
So we showed a lovely picture of a very young Nigel Woodard in the chat earlier. Not sure if you've seen it.
Yes, I did see it.
Yes.
That was from 2017, I think. No. Yes, about that time.
Christ, I thought it was longer ago than that, but that might be just might be an insult there.
That's definitely an insult.
Yes, it was. So I hope you all enjoy the evening. I hope you all had a very good Christmas and Santa brought you lots of sim gear. I just want to make an absolute massive shout out to all the PC endurance guys. We all hoped that we would get 30 teams signed up and paid for, and that's what our estimates were based on. And we are almost at full capacity in terms of teams that have signed up, which is absolutely huge. And hopefully throughout the season, the numbers will continue, and we can provide a nice prize pot for both the pros and the AMs. We are always at Formula Racing League, a not-for-profit organisation. And everything that we do make goes straight back into the league. None of the admins take a single penny out, despite a hell of a lot.
Paying for your talks.
Yeah, obviously. That went through his expenses. I bought this tux a couple of months ago. I even ironed it for tonight.
Yes, I did see the picture in the Discord channel earlier.
So we should now, providing we are on schedule, be joined by the Swedish Alliance.
They will be across now.
Which will be Benjamin Eck and Alex Zachdel. Hello, both.
Yo.
Hello, how are you both?
I'm doing good.
Doing
How are you guys?
Absolutely fine.
Good. So you are going to just before the end of the endurance season, we had a chat about 2024. and introducing the Formula Racing League team Faster, which is going to be managed by your good self. So just wondering, I believe you have something prepared, which is going to be a bit different compared to everything else in Formula Racing League. So do you want to... Hello. Oh, Christ, that is Mr. Egg.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
yo, man. Internet.
Yeah, we have a PowerPoint. So
Yes.
Alex will be turning that on, I believe.
I'm trying to go live, but I can't.
Oh, you're going to have to give him the comms role if you can, would you?
Who's that to?
Alex.
Me.
Give me 2 seconds.
So, like I said, if everything was prepared and well organised, it would not be... where's your tux, Ben?
I was not informed of this. Everyone else is surprised you have one on, so...
Well, it's a big event. So
There you
we're
go.
going to attempt to click a button which says watch screen, and we should be able to see... we can see Alex and Ben's PowerPoint. So why has that gone onto the wrong screen? There we go. Right. Okay. So I will hand over it to yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So in November, me and Ben got the official roles as new team managers for the FRL Faster side of the team. And we're now gonna cover some things about ourselves, some achievements we have done so far within the team. And Ben is gonna go through some stats from our racing team from the FRL Endurance season, and some future plans for the Faster team.
Okay.
Indeed. So let's start with us two, the new two managers. So let's start with who we are.
Oh yeah, this is the right. So I had a fancy.
You've built some transitions which my PC can't keep up with.
Well,
there we go.
I didn't broke anything.
No, so it is on.
Looks good now.
Alex, go.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, this is me. I'm a 17-year-old boy from Sweden. I've been sim racing since 2018. Started on F1 2018 on Xbox, and I then moved to PC in 2019. I bought Assetto Corsa Competizione in summer 2021, and I did my first FRL race in the Pure SimGrid Season 1, Round 3 on Donington. I've looked through this. I am well prepared.
Yeah.
And also, one thing to add, I was the champ in Pure SimGrid Season 8 in the Boatley of all cars. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Thanks for the applause.
Yeah, I think that has nothing to do with your teammates' disconnections at all, does it, in Terrence?
No. Of course not. He didn't disconnect the last two. No, and Melker didn't participate in the second to last. No.
Yep.
It was fully deserved. Fully deserved for me.
Yeah. You also came through the rookies ranks as well. Both yourself and Ben came through the rookies ranks, I believe.
I've never participated in rookies.
Oh, Ben definitely
good
is.
for that. I did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. He's gonna talk about his rookie season, I think. Next slide. But I'm gonna talk my sim gear that I'm racing on at the moment is Thrustmaster TMX as a wheel, Thrustmaster T3PA as pedals, and Thrustmaster TH8A for shifter, even though I don't use my shifter for this type of GT3 racing. You can see that I like Thrustmaster.
Yeah.
A bit.
It's making all the guys that they were like massive paid sim rigs and feeling a bit useless right now.
And the rig I'm on as well is a home-built wooden rig painted in black with an old Porsche car sports seat that I bought from a guy who I knew. And
that's impressive.
Yes,
that's what I'm racing on at the moment. But I'm planning to upgrade soon. I hope. And now we will move on to Mr. Benjamin Eck.
Hello. I hope you guys can see at least a small picture of me. Here I am.
Yep.
Oh, it's still crusty, the stream.
Yeah, it's Discord.
That animation was too advanced. Okay. Yes, I'm
There
I'm a 22-year-old game dev from Sweden. I started sim racing on F1 2016 with controller. I joined FRL for the Rookie Series Season 1. I had a very nice championship battle. Came P2 in the end, sadly.
Who was that battle
I'm
with?
still. Ooh,
Was it
he was called
Terrence?
Taylor. No, Taylor something. Robin Taylor, I think.
Oh,
he was
yeah. I
called.
remember Robin.
And I'm still racing on my trusty old Logitech G29. And my sim rig is just this trusty old gaming chair that's falling apart.
Again,
Yeah,
you're making Woody and I feel very, very useless right now.
I moved from a G29 to a Mazda R5DD, and you're still well over a second a lap quicker than me.
At least I'm still in the gaming chair.
Yeah, nice.
You also
And,
Woody, you also in a gaming chair?
No, I'm in a chair out of a Lexus IS200
Oof.
on a custom built rig with aluminium profile.
Nice. It's an upgrade from Ben's gaming chair that I hear.
Yes.
Right. I will let you continue. I just got to mention something to my good lady inside before she hits me. So you guys carry on. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you've ever seen the name B.ek, that's me on track. So hi.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we now move on to some achievements that we have achieved so far with me and Ben as team leaders. And our debut as team managers was we had 2 teams in the Harakiri Racing 24 Hours of Paul Ricard. And I forgot to put our second team, but my team, which had Melker, Amir Kasatarash, Amir Hosseini, and Nico Dobos. We came out on top in that event. I think we won by 2 laps in the end. Sadly, no prize there, but we got the.
That was a fantastic achievement.
Very well done.
Yeah, I remember watching quite a bit of that stream, and you guys both teams were quite high up through the entire event. So you did amazingly well, especially on debut.
Yeah. Thank you. And our second team with Keddy, Tag, Jon, Betton, and who was it more? Was it Justin? No.
It might have been Dustin Young. I don't know.
I remember.
Sorry
Anyway,
about
they came in P4 also, close to the podium. But it was a really nice event, really nice. Winning my first 24 hours race in our debut as team managers is a good achievement, I gotta say.
Yeah.
And then we moved on to 4 hours of Sandwort, where we actually competed with 5 teams. And one of the teams actually won that event as well. Terrace and Rafa, good job. Alex totally didn't ruin our chances of winning that event.
Of course not.
No. And yeah, then moving on to 24 hours of Spa, Alex.
Yeah, the latest event we participated in was 24 hours of Spa in CRF Motorsport, where we came P4 out of 69 cars.
Mm-hmm.
And for that one, we actually got the prize. We got $15 for coming P4. Whoop, whoop. Nice.
Bank already.
Oh, yeah. It was my first prize since I started racing, so that's a milestone at least. And the ones who participated in that event was me, Terrence, Justin, Jon Betton, Melker, and Tag support, it says, because he was supposed to race. He was in the team on SimGrid, but he had some medical issues. His nose was bleeding through the whole 2 hours start of the race, and then he went to the doctor and he came back with the bad news that he couldn't drive. And I think it was the best choice for him to not drive.
Yeah.
Because it would have been put massive pressure on his nose and so on. So, but he was there for most of the race for amazing support from him.
And I think already that shows the commitment to the longer endurance races and some fantastic achievements there with two team wins and then a top 4 position, gathering some prize money. So that is amazing. So I think we're going to go on to the plans for next season or 2024.
No,
we are ending with that, but first we're just gonna go through some funny stuff about our own team, Olgens Bilar. So throughout the Endurance 2023 season, we competed at 11 tracks. In total, it was 109 hours of racing, which is crazy throughout 2023. We did 3,272 laps, me and Alex, Sergio, and others for this team. We managed to score 3 podiums and 1 victory. And we also had 2 names throughout the season. For those who know, they know.
If you know, you know.
Exactly. So that's just some cool stats.
Nice.
Yes. And now the plans for the future. It's really very basic plans we have. We're going to race clean and have fun. And we're going to get FRL's name out there to show the world what we can.
The stream is a bit bork still, wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it should hopefully come up soon. But yeah, if you carry on talking, because I'm just conscious we're eating into Derek's time.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you take the last 2, Euban.
There we go.
Yeah, so race clean, have fun, get FRL's name out there, and then we're trying to succeed with our 3 faster teams in FRL Endurance, and most important of all, be faster. That's the plan.
Faster!
Yes.
I think what you guys have already shown is some great organisation amongst the team. There's a great team ethic. You've brought in some brilliant drivers. Nikos Dobos has been the name that has kind of popped up. It's nice to see Amir getting involved in some of the endurance racing as well. And I think you're building some fantastic team ethic. And I think 2024 is going to be a great year for you guys.
Well, that's our plans. That's what we're hoping for.
And you'll get Woody next season as well. He's a silver driver.
Yes, I wouldn't go that far yet.
Thank you very much, guys, and thank you for a very well prepared slides as well. Just a shame that Discord can't keep up, and probably my PC is a bit crap. But thank you guys very much. We will bring in the wonderful Derek now to the stream.
Yeah, I'll drag him in now. Thanks very much, lads.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Oh, there we go. Hello, Dirty Derek. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you see me?
We're about to. The anticipation is there. We are running slightly behind, but...
yes, my time is now up. I will see you all later. Thank you for the time.
We are 3 minutes behind, Derek. Get on with it.
Yes, so Derek's here to talk about the Limpets, the purpose of the Limpets, and what the aims are for next season.
Well, we started the Limpets about 1.5 years ago. Me, you, Benjamin was actually on the team at that time.
Yes, and Christopher Vining.
Yes. So we've actually been established for a while. And last year was probably our most productive year. I think we've done really well last year. Our aim has always been, as long as we're not last, we'll be happy. But I think now that we're moving into an amateur and a pro league, I think that standard has to be up to a wee bit. Yeah, I think top third. If we're in top third, we'll be happy.
For me and Woody, I'm not sure if it's just the thing I like about the Limpets is absolutely zero pressure, and we will not quit. Even if even if we're 96 laps down, we will not quit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, that's it. But I mean, just for the future, we're actually doing so well at the moment that we've had to put a restriction on how many cars we can run. So if you are in the Limpets team or the slower side, make sure you get your check-in covered quickly, because we're actually going to have to close check-in 2 weeks before the event to make sure that we can get teams sorted out properly. But it's definitely took off for us.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the faster team will as well, in the same respect.
And the thing I like about the Limpets, it is open to everyone. Although, like you said, we have had to restrict it. So we are doing it on the number of races you've participated, how organised you are in terms of getting your check-ins in. What Derek and I will do for you guys is obviously set you guys into teams. We'll help organise your setups based on the library of setups which we have available to us. Including stealing some of the faster team setups. I'm sure they won't mind me mentioning that. And what they don't know won't hurt them.
No.
And also for the longer races as well, Derek's hot on it at the minute in terms of getting people to put their availability in so we can sort your stints out and making sure that it's fair to all the drivers that are participating in. If you are a Limpet, well, the Limpets, I think we are pretty much patrons at the moment.
At the moment, there's I want to say there's 10 drivers that we're utilised at the moment for the team. For the race coming up, there's 9 of us, and we're all patrons.
Yep.
Sergio, I think, decided he's going to be a utility driver. He'll just go where the empty team is.
But predominantly what the drivers we're after are the Pro-Ams and AMs.
Yes.
We don't mind throwing an odd silver in there, but there is obviously restrictions for next season's 2024 Coach Dave Delta Endurance Championship, where we can only you have to be a team predominantly of Pro-Ams or AMs to be able to participate. So if you are a silver driver, you are likely to be paired with an AM driver to make sure that the balance of the team
I think if we aim for the kind of speeds we're looking for between Woody and Mark GG, they're probably 2 fastest drivers, and they're the ones that I worry about the most because they are probably going to bounce back and forth between silver.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of area we're looking at. If you're constantly going to be in the silvers, then you probably want to look into being in the faster team.
Yeah, and I've already noticed Jordan May jumping in the chats with Ben and Alex, probably trying to get some coaching off them as well.
Yeah, I can't believe you said he was a slow driver when he arrived.
Well, that's what the rookies is for.
Yes, weeding them out.
Yeah, well, we get punished by them by being 2-3 seconds a lap slower than them, and then they disappear after the quick guys. But how? So, are you looking forward to 2024 season?
I am indeed. There's some, from a manager's point of view, there's a couple of difficult ones in there when you've got 2 different tracks for 3 hours only. That's kind of hard to manage, but I've got a plan on maybe seeing what we can do about a double check-in to where you check in for 1 race only, and that's see if we can maybe split it up to where a partial team runs 1 race, a partial team runs the other race for the same Limpets team. 3 hours is difficult to kind of sort out that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And
we've all agreed that we want to do more hours rather than, well, I've done my hour, I'm going to go home now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be the key thing as well, is just making sure it actually is an endurance race. Whereas sometimes I'm not sure, Woody, if you found this as well. On some occasions, it's felt like you've got 3 hours of a 24-hour race, and you're thinking, "No, that's not endurance." I want to be pissing myself.
Yeah, I think, what was the last long 24 hours we did?
Last one we done was Suzuka. And you got
we were in a team of 4.
Yeah, you got the early hours. No, we were a team of 6 in Suzuka. You got the early hours, which meant by the time 1-2 o'clock came round, you were done with all your stunts, and the race was still going.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a pain.
It is, but then you don't need to take 2 days out of your weekend, but you still participate in the race.
Well, but see, this year we're going to have 4 people on a team.
Yeah,
that's fine by me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry we rushed you, Derek. And
no, that's fine.
Thank you for joining us. Who have we got next on our agenda?
We have got, brace yourselves, it's the grass cutter himself. Mr. Christopher Gedman.
Thank you once again, Derek. Should we?
No problem. I will catch you later. I'll
Thank you
swap
very
over
much,
myself.
Derek.
You get Chris.
Yeah,
Cheers,
no
mate.
problem. See you later, Derek.
Thank you.
So the next section on our agenda, I think I've vastly underestimated the amount of time that needs to be taken on each one of the sections.
Yes.
Yes, but I tried to fit in as much as I could after the kids went to bed. We are joined by the grass cutter himself to talk about all things PlayStation 5, included the hotly anticipated PlayStation 5 awards. Hello, Mr. Gedman.
How are we doing, gentlemen?
I'm not too bad. Are we going to see that beautiful face?
We are indeed. I'm just trying to get it now. Camera.
Get your face?
Come on. Yeah, my camera should be on. There we go.
There we go.
Oh my god.
It looks
Hi,
like
guys.
it looks like you are in the red light district somewhere.
The green light district.
The green light district is that what they call it in Scotland? Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So we are here to talk about all things PlayStation 5. We're going to have you're going to talk about the season just gone by and a couple of your highlights. We're going to talk about what's planned for next season. I have seen the lovely video that's been created for the calendar, but I have not downloaded it because I chucked the kids in bed and then joined it in here. And then we're going to talk through the PlayStation Awards.
Excellent.
So over to you, sir.
Excellent. So, what a season it's been. We had our signature Taco Tuesdays, season 11. We had our very popular Pure Sim Gear Sunday, season 11, and then our late night Porsche Cup season 5 as well. What I'll do is in this segment here, I'll talk about who the top 3 were in each of the classes, if that's okay.
Yep.
And then what I'll do, like James has said, I'll go on and talk a little bit about what we're doing for next season, like the calendar, etc. And more information about that will come out very soon on the Discord itself for all the patrons and punters to see. And then I'll very quickly just touch on our off-season stuff as well, if that's all right.
Yep, be quick. Faster, faster.
I'm being quick, I'll be quick. So, typical season 11, our pro winners were, it's Nico Bazov. I think we knew he was going to win regardless. He completely ran away with it with Will Friedman in second place, and Mikhail Klober, I think you pronounce it as, in third place in the pro class. Now that was a very, very tight and very, very fast class, and it was difficult. I had to race in it myself. So I seen what it was like, being 2 or 3 seconds off the pace. Silver class was very close, and that was Alberto Aragoneses, followed by Cameron Blair and Andy Craven. Pro-Am was won by George Durand. Second was Andrei Oreshkin, and Kyle Revel was in third place. And the Am winners was Jack King, who completely ran away with it. Sergey Krinkin was in second place, and Jamie Thacker was in third. So with it being our signature series, we managed to split it over 4 different classes this time, and it's worked an absolute treat. Our Pure Sim Gear Sunday, that was fantastic as well. That's actually becoming vastly popular. We tend to have like full grid each night because it's mixed. So our Pro and Am race on the same server, which means we're getting up to like 40 cars, 35, 40 cars per race. And our none other than Nesbit, our second in command on PlayStation, he won the Pro Series.
Was that Pudge Face, yeah?
Punch Face, I think he's been called. He's picked up that nickname just due to his ruthlessness, I think. Arcade Smith, Mahulka was in second place, close behind him, and then Jay Wazzer on third. And then Lasku Luca, he's only been with us a couple of seasons, but he's I think he managed to accidentally fall into the Am class just because of the amount of numbers that were racing. And he himself completely ran away with the Am class, leaving Luke Richens in second place and Sam Graffey in third. And then a late night ran by Hutch, a very quiet and hidden in the background Hutch, but he still managed to kind of run quite a predominant Porsche Cup late night series, which seen a niche about 12 to 14 drivers racing in it each time. Kind of dissipated off near the end, but that was won by Mikhail Klover as well, who again his name keeps showing up. He's a new guy, and his debut season with us seems to be quite good. And we've got Connor Byers in second place, and then Dominic Crosby, or
Zombie Dom.
Zombie Dom. He's making some massive waves. He's massively improved, and he himself came third place in late night. So that's the kind of roundup of the sort of prize winners on all three of our series. And we're kind of going to put a little bit of a spin on things for next season. So the calendar, instead of being a 9-race calendar, it's going to be a 7-race calendar this time. On our Taco Tuesdays series, this is actually going to be our third race of the week. So our first race of the week is now going to start with our late night. And the purpose behind that is to get as many people involved as possible on a Thursday. And that way they can use the Thursday nights as their kind of practice session, and then into Sundays, and then our signature series into the Tuesdays. So your 3 races will consist of a Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday night each week. The next year's calendar for tackles will have 2 90-minute specials. Again, more information will come out when we kind of post that information for the patrons and punters. We're nearly nailed that. We're kind of on top of that. But our opening calendar, our opening race will be Kyalami, and you're going to see the likes of Indy, Silverstone, and Imola in there as well. So
Some
keep
nice
your eyes
top
peeled
tracks.
for that. Yeah, the calendar was built. We kind of thought really hard with the calendar this season because we've had too many sort of cliche tracks getting picked. So this calendar's a little bit of a hodgepodge, which is pretty.
It was voted for by the patrons and Instagram users as well, wasn't it? Or the people who follow the FRL Race Hub on Instagram.
Yes.
Yes.
Or if you're talking, yes, but we chose specific tracks, like either or tracks, so we were trying to be quite savvy with it, and it's turned out probably one of the best calendars yet.
Yeah. So that is so that'll be up on the. So I've been nagging about this. So when will that be up?
Well, we're aiming to get the patrons in the loop with the new 3 sign-ups, most likely over the next couple of days. And then 2 or 3 days after that, you then get all the kind of general population getting involved. So with us having quite a vast patron selection of drivers, you'll probably find the spots will fill up quite quickly, leaving very small amounts of gaps left. But we're planning on a 40 grid for each of the tackle classes. So we've got Pro, Silver, Pro Am and Am.
Yeah.
So in essence, we could have 160 drivers for that series, being our signature series. We'll open up the Pure Sim Gear Sundays again for 20 and 20. Same server, same grids. So we could have 40 cars each night. And then our late night is going to be a GT3 series going forward, which I think is going to be vastly popular.
People on the chat are talking about how well endowed you are, Mr. Gedman.
Okay, dokes.
So if you press your belly down, you might remove some of the myths. There we go, it's disappeared. No, where your hoodie was bunching up, it was looking like a penis.
Looks like a penis. You can't say that word.
So now we're going to talk about the fiercely contested end of season PlayStation Awards. I think I'm the only person who knows the results of these, but thank you for those drivers who voted for the end of season awards. I'm going to give the award first of all to the admin driver of the season, which goes to a name which I've never heard before. So Chris, you might be more well aware of Lasco Luca.
Mm-hmm. I've already mentioned him this evening. He's doing really well, and I think it's well deserved. He's a young lad and he's making massive waves. So well done, son.
So that's who the admins voted for as driver of the season. The favourite track of the season is going to surprises me, but Mount Panorama, Bathurst.
What?
Won by 2 clear votes over Watkins Glen, which had 6 votes, and then a tie between Indianapolis and Mazzano with the 3rd place.
Right, okay.
That's a very strange top three, if you ask me.
Yeah,
That is a strange top three considering everyone hates Bathurst.
it is indeed. And the most improved driver, and this is done by the Formula FRL rating system. There is a video from last week or so which explained the DR system. Just a little short plug there. Is
Absolutely loved it.
Matthias Dahlberg.
Mattis, all right, okay.
One
okay.
with the most improved. Next season, I'll be more prepared and have what they were to what they are too. So that is our most improved driver. Our driver's driver of the season is a tie for second place. So third place is there is also a tie for third place. So William Friedman and Adricus Maluka.
Right, okay.
Yep.
Yep,
So
Andres Mahalka.
Yeah, there we go. And the ties for second place are Lasco Luca, Alberto Aragonis, and Punchface. And
come on.
And the outright winner, and it's probably no surprise, so voted for by your peers, is Nikola Burzov.
The guy needs to just go away onto his own planet and leave us guys, us mere mortals, to race.
Come and play with us on. Come play with not play with us because we're crap, but play with the guys on PC. But some of his lap times I've seen are quite contested. It would be well up there with the PC guys.
Brilliant.
So well done to Nikolai. And that concludes the PlayStation 5 segment. We now have the mystery box draw. Do we have Sergio?
No, Sergio.
We have Sergio. So
how dare you forget the one and only?
Well, I wrote nothing down. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Gedman. We will now hand over to Upside Down Mind.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
So we should have Sergio.
Yes, me.
Yes, me.
Hello.
Hello. Are we going to see that beautiful face?
Give me a second.
So I think Sergio was one of
Not
the
beautiful,
first
but-
drivers who attended the podcast, I think. So there is Sergio. That is the face of the name. So Sergio's going to talk about last season. You watched quite a bit of last season rather than race, didn't you?
I watched the pro split of the Masters Silver when it was merged with the Pro, doing live stewarding.
And it's always a thankless task, but I think everyone really, really appreciates it. However, you are returning to the track next season?
Not for Thursday, but for Friday and Wednesday.
Yes. And what were there any particular highlights from last season apart from watching people crash into each other?
The winner of the Masters Pro class just completely dominated the entire field from the start to the end. Krzysztof Staszewski, and maybe if Alex Zagdal tried a little bit to contest it on the end of the season, but it was too late. And if Thomas Knopek was participated more regularly, it will be more competitive. The other classes, I don't know. I don't remember the names and what happened because I was doing live stewarding for the pro class. But Martin Ulrich had a decent season, granted him P1. On the rookie side, I think Neil would be better to say how it went. Neil?
The rookies. There was a few standout names.
You've just caught Woody with his pants down, I think.
No. Yeah, you have to be fair. Yeah, the couple of standout names was Oh, mine's
I
gone
think
blank.
So Jordan May ran away with the
Jordan May was one. Yeah.
He won it on the well, I say ran away. He won it on the last race of the season at Indianapolis because his opponent unfortunately couldn't make the race, and even with the drop brain that was in place, still came out on top. In terms of the pro-ams, I can't actually remember. I didn't race last season. I raced 2 races and commentated on one. Who won? Who won your split, which you were in?
My split. Yes, Fernando.
Elias Fernando.
Elias Fernando. He was lightning fast and faultless. I'm just at the minute trying to drag up the SimGrid results, and for some reason I can't find it.
And Fabio Gallimani was.
Gallimani was the AM driver, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the AM driver. He ended up winning the Indianapolis race, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Fabio Gallimani just did 4 rounds and finished 5th. Won 3 races.
Yes, but he was up with the pro-ams when he was there.
And next season's calendars have already been released, I believe, on SimGrid.
Yes.
So there's a little bit of a twist to next season, isn't it? So we have the Pure Sim Gear Masters, and then we have the Coach Dave Delta Rookies. Yep.
And we will be having 2 events on Wednesday.
Yep.
Long run first, and then Italian job first, and then the long run.
Mm-hmm.
It will be 3 rounds and 4 rounds, respectively.
Yep.
Then on Friday we'll be having something a little bit different. It's the Retro Ride Revival brought to us by ACC Strategist.
Yep.
Which will be driving the old cars on some iconic circuits. So it'll be fun.
That will be a good one. And I think the long run, both Italian Job and long run, are re-implementations of probably some of our first events on PC. Sergio, what event did you start with?
Long run. That was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Long run was my first. It was 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah. I think the long run was one of my first series on PC.
Yeah. So it's an iconic one, which brings back lots of positive memories when we all had lots more hair and a lot less grey. I think we all look like Woody from that picture from 2018.
Yes.
And we've also got kicking off in 2 weeks' time the 2024 endurance season. So we kick off at Hungaroring and then we go to Donington, and those are the only 2 which I can remember already. But
it's actually a week on Saturday, James.
It's a week on Saturday.
Yes.
I still got my Christmas food hangover.
Yeah.
Right. So shall we go over to the end of season awards? Yep. Right. Okay. So, well done, James. You've not written down anything, so I will be looking to the screen on my left-hand side. So, the race of the season. We had a surprise on the PlayStation 5 by them voting Bathurst. I think this is more of a surprise. So, the top 3. There's a joint 3rd place between the Land of Sand, Zandvoort, and the Watkins of Glen. In 2nd place, we have Mazzano. And in 1st place, the race of the season with 7 votes, is Alton Park.
Really?
Nobody expected that one. But that
I told you. I've said it all along. That
was the race of the season. And in terms of admin's driver of the season, it's a split because we all voted for different bloody people.
Really?
So I can't award this, but I will mention it. So I voted for Domokos Kish. Nico voted for Christoph Stajetti. Marco voted for Thomas Nopek. Mario voted for Christopher Gedman. Neil voted for Alex Zakdal. And Who else? Is there any other admins? Nope. So there was a complete and utter tie.
I didn't vote it.
Sorry? Oh, Sergio.
I
Sergio
didn't
vote.
Sergio. Yes, Sergio. Oh, no, we do have a winner. Christoph won. There we go. Again, if we had prepared, this wouldn't be FRL. So well done to Christoph
Exactly.
for winning the admin driver of the season. I also didn't write down who was the most improved driver, and I've wiped the slate clean. So I'm crap. Driver of the season. So in third place we have Simon Turner, the Turninator. Then we have a joint second place. And I don't know how the last person I'm going to say got voted for this, but he did. Fabio Gallimani, which I'm not surprised about, by the way. Michael Floppy Fox Firth and his cat. Alex Zachdel, and then the surprised one, Christopher Gedman. And outright winner is Christoph. So wins both drivers and admin driver of the season. So congratulations to Christoph. So
Yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah, he deserved it. He was quite unlucky a couple of seasons ago. I think he had a disconnect and then he couldn't make the last races of the season. So I'm quite pleased for Christoph managing to win a championship.
Last season was because of the penalties.
Yes. We are almost actually on schedule. Thank you, Sergio, for joining us. You're going to be preparing, and both of you are going to be ready and waiting for what's going to come up next.
Yeah, I'll be preparing the server.
So Sergio will be preparing the server. This is a pre-recorded video. But hopefully you will enjoy. I did it quite early in the morning. It took 2 takes, believe it or not, because I did it wrong. So sit back and enjoy. This is going to be the draw for the mystery box race, which will be taking place in not too much time. So enjoy. Hello and welcome to take 2 of this. This is pre-recorded and I failed abysmally last time by putting it live. So if anyone actually watched that live, then that one is completely invalid. We are going to see the driver grid, the track temperature, the weather, the track itself, and the race type draw for the mystery box event this evening. I will be using the spinning wheel on the left-hand side of your screen to witness to conduct the draw. There'll be some formulas which are set in the screens on the right hand side, which will decide the grid, the cars on the grid, and also the track temperature. There is a bunch of stuff on the left hand side which is for the entry list to decide which cars people will be driving. So a very unique event. Thank you, Mario, for bringing this one up. I think it has had a little bit of suspense for what people will be driving. So we will decide on the track temperature first. So there's 1 to 20, ranging from 15 degrees to 45, I think it is. But hey, let's go. I don't know why my PC is running dog crap, but anyway, it is 5, which will be 19 degrees Celsius. Next on our list is the weather. So we've got dry, mixed, thunderstorms. I can't remember the other one. Dry, wet, mixed. Thunderstorms will be our potential weather conditions. So 1 to 16, just because I've duplicated it a few times, because it's more fun seeing 16 numbers than 4. Where will the wheel stop? Nobody knows. Whatever happens, James, please do not close. And we will be on 7, which will be a mixed session. So it's going to be fun one to create. And then we've got our 23 tracks, which are in Assetto, Corsa, Competizione, and it could be any one of those. And the mock draw, it was Watkins Glen. I wonder if the track from the US of A will make a reappearance. Let's see. It will be 19, which will be the Super Suzuka S's. Right, race type. So we have a number of different race types available to us. So we've got 1 to 25, but they are all mixed together. So this is the source data sheet. If we go over here, so race types, we've got super sprints, 35 minutes, no sprints, a sprint 45-minute, fuel pits fixed, standard 60-minute fuel pit, strategy 75-minute, pit not fixed, and 90-minute full pit. So those are our options. Times by 5 equals 25. So the race type which you guys will be running around this evening will be number 9. So it'll be a strategy 75-minute fuel pit no fixed. So I think that is just you have to stop for fuel. You don't have to change tyres, and the fuel limit will not be fixed. So it's down to the drivers to choose their strategy. Right, now to the part which you've all been waiting for. We have 41 cars on the list. There are 46 entries. So once we reach 41, then we'll open up the list again and we will go back round. However, each time a car is selected, it will be removed. So Sergio Azario was in the GT4s in a mock draw that took place a few moments ago. And this time he will be in the GT3s and it'll be car number 4, which will be the Audi R8 LMS Evo GT3. So we will remove that from the list and we will go again for Thibaut in car number 552. And there we go. There we go. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's come to our attention that the stream is a bit crap. So the pre-recorded video was absolutely useless. So what we're going to do instead is talk through the draw. And you may have just seen it flash up on your screen. If you have, hopefully taken a screenshot. In terms of rFactor 2 awards, that will be coming after this. Because I forgot to include it in the itinerary. So, ladies and gentlemen, the draw for the mystery box is here. So, we will go from top to bottom. Any of the guys that were late entrants have been put into a GT4 car because I wanted some fun. So, top of our list, Sergio will be in the Audi R8 LMS Evo 2009. Thibaut will be in the Ferrari 488, the original version. Ivan will be in the Mercedes AMG 2015. Malti Pauli, I think checked out, was in the Lamborghini Hurricane Evo. So if I unhide these, actually, you'll see the people who did check out. So the ones highlighted in yellow sadly checked out. Paul Sims will be in the Lexus RC. Raphael will be in the Ferrari 488 Evo. Toth Adam will be in the McLaren 720S. Angela Scott will be in the Nissan GTR Nismo from 2005. Mark Gigi Wayayman will be in the Lamborghini Hurricane Evo 2. Chesney unfortunately checked out. Manuel Novak will be in the, probably one of the picks of the draw, I suppose, will be in the Ferrari 296. Alex Zakdal, I have not been paid, honestly, will be in the 720S Evo. Mark... Yes, I know. Mark Stewart will be in the Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Jay Brooker will be in the Honda NSX. Anton Mironov will be in the Lamborghini Huracan. Vincenzo sadly checked out. Thomas Brunel, aka Techie Tom, will be in the BMW M6. Melka Garby will be in the BMW M4. Androska Morrow will be in the Aston Martin V12. Jelle van Straten will be in the Nissan GT-R Nismo from 2018. Christopher Gedman will be in the Porsche 992. He's already got a livery prepared for that. The setup is bang on. And then we've got Martin Schott will be in the Audi R8 LMS GT3 from 2015. Charles Stewart will be in the Porsche 911 GT3R from 2018. Francesco Sietti will be in the 911 2 GT3R from 2019. Ian Chika Thompson will be in the Bentley Continental from 2015. Obi-Wan Kenobi told me Han Solo is going to be in the writer. Adam Berry absolutely demolished the field at Donington in the recent Christmas event. Will be in the McLaren 650S. Sepp Le Guin unfortunately checked out. Gilles Van Dreel will be in the Audi R8 LMS Evo 2. Manuel Bulgarin, who won the GT4 for the Christmas event, will be in the Mercedes AMG Evo. Mickey Taylor will be in the Lamborghini Hurricane Evo 2. Alan Brizzle Brown will take on the Audi R8 LMS from 2015. Graham Potter will be in the Mercedes Evo. Neil Woodward will be enjoying the writer. And Benjamin
Thanks, James.
It's all right. Benjamin Eck will be in the Lamborghini Hurricane Evo. So that concludes our GT3s. Then we go into the GT4s. So first of all, reaction on that, please, gentlemen.
It brings a different dynamic to it. Because I don't think any of the older cars will have CDA setups.
No, this is true.
So you will literally be going in with, 10-minute practice session, is it?
Mm-hmm.
And the BOPs, custom BOP from LFM, and all the old cars have minus 40 kilo ballast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be fun.
It's going to be fun. Any surprises or any people which you wish weren't in those cars? Zach Dell comes to mind. And
Zach Dell.
Probably Melka Garbi as well in the M4.
Yeah.
Are you happy with your R8, Mr. Sergio?
Again, Audi again. The Evo 2 is just the other one, even worse.
And how do you feel about the writer, Woody?
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be emotional. You might have heard from the draw earlier as well. The track temperature is going to be 19 Celsius. The weather will be mixed. The track itself will be the S's of Suzuka. The race type will be a strategy 75-minute race with fuel mandatory, but the time will not be fixed. So you have to pit for at least 1 litre of fuel. But that strategy opens up quite widely. It's either going to be you're going to do your tyres, or you're going to just do the fuel potentially. But I think that 75-minute fuel is going to make things interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you for that wonderful insight, Woody.
I've got no idea how long the writer will last on a tank of fuel.
And then we have the GT4s. So we'll start with Joaquin Kepsi will be in the Maserati. KL Jr. will be in the Porsche 718. Rowdy Robbie Burns will be in some American muscle in the Chevrolet Camaro. Nico Veltman will be in the BMW M4 GT4 car. Giorgio Biggio will be in the Mercedes AMG. Mario Mariano, whose idea all this was, will be in the mighty Ginetta, so he will be in God's car. Jordan May will be in the AMR V8 Vantage. Artyom Usmanov will be in the Alpine. Dokak Are will be in the Audi. Julian Smith will be in the KTM, and Arcadio Trevino will be in the McLaren. There were a couple of late entrants who have been placed in GT4s, and Sergio, I'm going to drop you on the spot. Can you remember where Mr. Nopek was and I can't remember the other driver, the other two drivers?
Go to SimGrid.
Sorry, I appreciate I've just dropped you on the spot, so I'm going to drop Woody on the spot now. What GT4 car would you have preferred?
At Suzuka, probably either the Porsche Cayman or the Merc.
Any particular reason as to why?
No.
No. Has SimGrid loaded for you, Sergio?
I just think the Porsche should be very good through the S's.
There are 4 new ones.
Oh.
Dynamite Alive will be Nopek. ATM GT4.
Yeah.
Sir Jake 15. I don't have the real name. Chevrolet Camaro GT4 and Dylan 3255 BMW M4 GT4.
Nice. So, any of the latecomers have been placed into the GT4s. So I'm just trying to. Rudolph Brewer says, "Have fun, guys," and supercar owners wear password. So the password is sorry.
I haven't hide the classes on SimGrid if you want to see if everyone wants to see their cars.
So thank you, Sergio. So the practice server for that will be up in 8 minutes' time. So despite my feelings of the pre-recorded stream, you're not going to get any extra practice time. That will still go live in 8 minutes' time. So we will try and figure out how I'm going to have to go back into this sheet. Nope, drag that over there. And because I decided to go into a different sheet, I've lost the sheet I was on for rFactor 2. So, rFactor 2 awards, I've not gone with admin's driver of the season. We're going to stick with the track and driver's driver of the season. So the track was the most voted for track. So Croft and Brands Hatch had 2 votes apiece. In second place is the unofficial home of Formula Racing League, which is Donington Park. But top of the tree, and again, we've had 3 surprising tracks. Knock Hill.
Nice.
Knock Hill's quite good, though, to be fair.
That was the only race I didn't commentate on as well.
Is it Knock Hill where Dave rolled it through Sector 1?
Possibly. But that was in one of the pre-events. But Knock Hill comes out top of the tree. And for driver's driver of the season, we will go for, in third place, there is a joint third place between Marcin Morel, Techie Tom, and Alan Palmer, who got joint third place. In second place, we have Rudolph and David Goodway. And in first place, we have a tie as well. And no, I've not miscalculated. It is Theodore Ivanov and Dan Davis, our champion of our inaugural BTCC season. So thank you once again, guys, for all of you who took time out and voted. Really appreciated. So Knock Hill was the track of last season, and then we had Theodore Ivanov and Dan Davis with a tie. Woody, please remind me what's next on our agenda.
What's next on our agenda is Sergio, the practice server, goes live in 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's all set.
Or can we squeeze the Patreon raffle draw in the next 6 minutes?
Well, we're going to try.
Have I put you on the spot there, James?
Yeah, just about. Mystery box. Right. So we have 3 prizes on at stake. We have, and I want the woos after this. We have a Garage 44 £26 voucher. Woo! Thank you. We have the Pure Sim. Yeah, there we go. Pure SimGears £19.95 coupon.
Wow.
We have an online coupon for Coach Dave Delta for £8.99.
Wow.
And we have, Christ, SB5, is it? I can't read, my eyes are terrible. But we have a €25 voucher for SB5 sim racing shop. There we go. Thank you very much. We have our 78 patrons, and we will do the live draw for that now. We'll notice this wonderful spinning wheel from the draw. So each time a vote goes through, we will remove one of the drivers. So I will click the spin button, and hopefully that's running a lot smoother than it was on the crappy stream earlier. So where will it stop? Nobody knows. Whatever happens, James, please don't close. So our first winner is number 17, which is Jack Prentice. The £26 Garage 44 voucher will be sent to you. Next on our list, so Jack gets removed. Jack is one of the recent admins on PS5, so I do accept bribery. Is number 6 and 6, 66, which will be for the Pure Sim Gear voucher, and that is Ian Chica Thompson. So congratulations to you, Mr. Thompson. Next on the list is the £8.99 Coach Day voucher. So the spinning wheel goes round once more. Where will it stop? Nobody knows. This time it's going to be number 2 and 7, 27. And that is Gareth Harvey wins the £8.99 coupon for Coach Dave Discord. Coach Dave Delta, so congratulations to you. And last but by no means least, which was the 25 for the Sim Race Shop. So €25 this is, and our final prize of the evening. Where will this go for the final time that the spinning wheel turns up? And it is number 5 and 3, 53, and that will be Sergio!
Sergio!
Yeah, congratulations, Sergio. So our winners are Jack Prentice, Ian Thompson, Gareth Harvey, and Sergio! So I'm sure Mr. Keddy will be in touch shortly to give you your vouchers. So how are you feeling, Sergio, with that prize?
So happy. Made my day. Thank you.
Yes, hopefully you're feeling better just because of it. And just once again, make a massive shout out to all our patrons, without whom Formula Racing League would not exist. So thank you very much for your contributions to the community. It is massively, massively grateful always. And hopefully the introduction of the new server brings you a little bit closer to the heart of Formula Racing League. Mario suggested tonight's event, for example, and then he was made admin. So hopefully that encourages you. My stream has gone dreadful. So Sergio, so Discord is frozen. So I think the last thing to do is Sergio, release the server.
So
I think my internet has gone kaput.
No, I can hear.
Sorry. Right. So can you both still hear me? Server is live, I assume that means. Formula Racing League will be back shortly. Thank you, Mr. Woodward, for joining us. And Sergio, Christopher Gedman, Derek, Benjamin Eck, and of course Alex Zachdell for joining us during this stream. I will be banging my head against a brick wall. I'm preparing myself for commentary, which will start in 10 minutes time. Sergio and Neil will get in some practice on for the mystery box event. I will be checking that I haven't missed anything, and we will be back shortly. Thanks for watching.
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping, all 800 horses running. Oh baby, 125 in the middle of the night, got my engine thundering. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's slow this down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we on the road. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Red light on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Born to ride, Mustang 65, got that V8 engine with a fuel injection. Drop the clutch, pedal to the floor, turn that giddy button to a lion's roar. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's slow this down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we on the road. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. Red light on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Red light on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen.
Hello and welcome to Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am here, and I am failing miserably, as you may well have noticed. I'm just trying to get the stream ready. You can see it is a very wet race here at Suzuka for the mixed mystery box event. I'm just curious because it looks like I've deleted my normal feed for the race. I'm going to attempt to try and do something else and drag it from a different screen. So 2 seconds, and hopefully it fits better. Let's have a look and see how. Oh God, now it looks even worse. Transform, fit screen. Oh God. Transform, fit screen, and I am failing miserably. So we are gonna. That looks even worse. So let's drag this back over to there. So I have failed miserably in everything that I have done so far, so why not carry on? So the drivers are going through a short element of practice in their chosen cars for this evening. There is going to be a mixed class event of GT3 cars and GT4s. Just looking, we have Brady Burns, Arcadio Trevino, Nico Veltman, Adam Usmanov, Mario Mirano, Jake DeShong, Dylan Kaiser, Joaquin Capsi, Julian Smith, and Jordan May in their GT4 cars. In the GT3s, we have Raphael, Adam Berry, Benjamin Eck, Alan Brown, Charles Stewart, Alex Zachdel, Paul Sims, Angela Scott, Melka Garby, Tom Brunel, Manuel Novak, Mark Gigi, Graham Potter, Neil Woodard, Francesco Siete, Anton Mironov, Jay Brooker, Manuel Bugarin, and Mickey Taylor. Sergio Azario has just joined in. Gilles Van Dale, Van Straten are all in GT3 cars. At some point, I will get into what I am trying to do. But you are going to see possibly a very large version of my head. Congratulations, hello. So I will make me a lot smaller and pop me there. I have dressed for the occasion. This has been hopefully an entertaining stream of tonight's event. So we've held a bit of a review and end of season awards for last season. We've talked to Benjamin Eck and Alex Zachdel for their plans for the FRL Festair team, and Derek Bruh and the Limpets. Christopher Gateman gave us a view of the world from PlayStation 5 and what the plans are ahead, and we gave out some PlayStation 5 awards. We've done Sergio Azario, talked about PC and the PC awards, and then we've delivered the patron draw and a very problematic mystery box draw as well. So hopefully you guys have appreciated some of the technical difficulties that we went through, and as mentioned, if it was well prepared and organised, it would not be Formula Racing League, and hopefully that's why you all keep coming, for the entertainment value. So currently we have 34 cars out on track. You can see Marc Gigi in his Lamborghini Huracan. So let's have a look at some of the cars which are on offer. So we can see Alex Zachdel in his McLaren 720S, Raphael in his 488, Paul Sims in his Lexus, Adam Berry in his McLaren 650S, yet to set a time, Jordan May in his V8 Vantage GT4, Benjamin Eck in his Lamborghini Huracan Evo, Alan Brown in Audi R8 LMS, Charles Stewart in his 991, Scott in a Nissan GT-R Nismo. Land of Godzilla has just managed to pop in a time. Then we go into Julian Smith in his KTM, Tom Brunel M6, Novak in the 296, Capsi in the Maserati, Kaiser in the BMW for GT4, Mark GG in the Hurricane, Potter in the Mercedes GT3, then we got Woody in the Reiter, Sayeti in the 911, Miranov in the Hurricane, Jay Brooker in the Honda NXS, and NXS, banned from the 90s, Bugarin in the Mercedes AMG, but we are starting to see drivers pop in their laps. We will be having qualifying, which, as you see, a perfect car for Mr. Gedman. He is in his Porsche with his livery all set up. We have a 75-minute race, which will, the only requirement is you have to pit for at least 1 litre of fuel. Hopefully it's been interesting and you've enjoyed the stream, and you've enjoyed the effort which we try and put on in Formula Racing League. I have managed to come in some attire to fit the occasion, as practice for these drivers is over. This is a special event brought to you by the wonderful mind of Mario Mariano, who's thinking this was to have a mystery box event, so nobody, when the drivers signed up for the event, they didn't know what cars they were going to be put in. It was decided by the luck of the draw. We've used all 41 cars which are available in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and we've used both the GT3s and GT4 cars. We did debate using some of the Cup cars and M2s, but we thought that might be a bit difficult to try and get the drivers to get setups in for those. But we are almost underway for qualifying. In fact, we are underway for qualifying. So if I just remind myself, so we will only have 10 minutes of qualifying. Benjamin X already said sorry, Nico. And then we'll go into that 75-minute race. Between qualifying and the race, I am going to have to get a drink because I'm empty. So remember, GT3s and GT4 cars are all out on the same track at the same time. So let's turn off the lazy commentating and on to some of the drivers who are not in the pit. So Benjamin Eck is already out in the Lamborghini Huracan. It's going to test some of the drivers' ability and skill to pull a setup together very, very quickly and then drive in these horrible conditions. You can see from the weather forecast in the top that it is only going to get wetter for qualifying. We do only have about 10 minutes of qualifying, so a very, very short amount of time for these drivers to try and get a setup dialed in, set a lap, so you're not starting right at the back of the grid. We have Alex Zakdal in probably his preferred car out of all of them. He will be in the McLaren Evo. We've got Paul Sims in the Lexus. We'll be in the Emi livery. We've got Julian Smith in the KTM, a car which we do not see often enough. As Volton tries to overtake around the outside and finds himself on the dirty part of the track, on the grass, and that's not going to be the quickest way around this course. Francesco Sietti in the Porsche, in the Sietti Corsa team. Adam Berry is now out in the McLaren G Challenge, the Logitech. Remember, Adam dominated the recent Christmas party event. Jordan May is just coming up to spoon in his Aston Martin GT4 car. So we start to get a picture of some drivers. So Raphael has already started a lap in the Iron Lynx Ferrari. again, these track conditions are quite treacherous. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of a mix in terms of what the conditions, and maybe hopefully it'll dry out at some point as well. So we will wait and see. Paul Sims is the driver just in front, and Paul has the opportunity to go P1 by being the first driver out on track. So all the everything was decided via the luck of the draw. So we had the track, which was decided as Suzuka, the track conditions, which were decided as mixed, the air temperature of 19 Celsius was decided, and also the length of the race. So we will be in a 75-minute strategy race. So just coming up to Spoon for Paul in car number 42. Again, one of those cars that just does not get used enough in the Lexus. Any car which doesn't have the LFM BOP will automatically be given a minus 40 kilogram ballast. So wait, it'll be interesting to see how those cars perform against the cars that have been given a specific BOP. There's could be potential swings and roundabouts. So Paul Sims just coming up to the final chicane, managed to keep the car inside the track limits. There once was a race, the Race of Champions, probably one of my last races on PlayStation 5, which was all Lexus cars around Suzuka. So Paul Sims pops in an early marker of a 209.4, immediately beaten by Raphael, who does a 209.9. Benjamin Eck goes into third place in with a 209.7. Jay Brooker was fourth place and now drops to fifth place, but Manuel Novak goes into fifth place now as Alex Zachtel pops in a lap time as well. Let's have a look, see where Techie Tom is. It already looks like that M6 has got some flappy bonnet syndrome, as we've got just under 5 minutes left of qualifying for this unique event. GT4's Usmanov goes into P1 with Julian Smith in P2, some 3 seconds behind the first 2 times set by our GT4 drivers. Tom Brunel looks like he's struggling into the braking zones in the M6. We've only seen one driver take this, even 10 times Formula Racing League champion Thomas Nopek, David Goodway struggled in the M6 once he was partnered with Derek Bruh back in PS5 days. And a driver which I've only seen as Anton goes a little bit squirrely through the exit of the S's as approached before they approached Degner 1 and Degner 2. But the only driver I've seen tame that M6 is the one and only Thomas Nopek, who I don't see on the grid tonight. Yes, he is. He is on the grid. He is in a GT4 car, in a KTM of all things. So that's going to be an interesting evening. So just a quick roundup of our drivers so far. So Raphael's popped himself into P1, Paul Sims 2, Benjamin Eck in 3, Zachtel 4, Novak in 5th, Bugarin in 6th place. Our GT4 times, we've got Trevino is currently in P1, Usmanov 2, Julian Smith in P3. Raphael crosses the line to set a new lap, and that is a 209 dead. Paul Sims gets a little bit closer with a 209.1. Benjamin Eck has unfortunately invalidated, but Alex Zachtel's currently 2 seconds quicker as he comes through the final corner onto the start finish straight here at Suzuka with just under 3 minutes left of qualifying, and goes P5 to P1 with a 209.4, just over a tenth of a second quicker than Sietti. Sietti is currently going faster on his lap than he has previously. Neil Woodard has yet to set a lap in the Reiter as we watch Christopher Gedman come through the hairpin. There is the Reiter, one of the most benign beleaguered cars in Assetto Corsa is the Reiter. Either that or the Jag. Malka Gardby in a BMW M4, probably one of the cars which he has raced in more than most, is currently in P4. Adam Berry is given up the ghost of qualifying. He is in P6. He's not going to be able to set another lap. Invalidated laps, however, for Zakdel, Sieti and Raphael. Melka Garby is currently 0.3 of a second down on his personal best. Angela Scott is in 11th place in the Nissan. Just coming through Degner 2 at the moment, our GT4 time. So Nico Veltman is currently in P2 after Arcadio pops himself into P1 in the McLaren. Nico Veltman P2, Artem Usmanov in P3. Then we've got Julian Smith who's in the pits, Jake DeJong in P22, Mario Morano in the mighty Ginetta in 23, Joaquin Capsi in 25th. Alan Brown is in the pits and not setting a lap. Tom Brunel is also in the pits, so quite a few drivers not being able to set laps, but it's worthwhile being out on track just to try and nail that setup. We've got just under a minute left of qualifying. Paul Sims was going quicker, he has dropped slightly, just trying to look at the times. So Jelvan Stratton is coming towards the end of his last attempt, currently 2 seconds up as they go through the final chicane. And is this going to be a new lap, a one that jumps him quite up the grid in that Nissan in Godzilla? 14th currently, that moves him up to 10th. That is a decent lap time there. Angela Scott just coming through the final corner as well in the Nissan. 13th, and displaces him into displaces Jelvan Stratton into 11th place. Anyone else? Bulgarin is currently a couple of tenths down. Won the GT4s, remember, of the Christmas race here in Formula Racing League. So the SRP racing team for Manuel coming through the final corner, 0.6 of a second up on his best, half a second up on, as he tries to get the traction down and the power down, going through the final corner onto the start-finish straight. Currently P12, and that moves Bulgarian up in. No, it doesn't. It stays P12. Francesco Siete is currently 0.2 up on their best time. Alex Zakdal is half a second up on his personal best time. So just trying to keep in line with the drivers crossing the line. Sergio Azario back in the Audi, which I'm sure he was very grateful for after the Christmas event. So Sergio coming through the final corner is currently 2.6 seconds up on his personal best time. Getting a bit of a tow from Mario in front, moves out of that tow, and that moves him all the way up into P9. That is a great effort. Francesco Sieti just coming through the final chicane now in car number 11. Francesco, famed for using, of course, out the exit of that final chicane, half a second up. Is this going to move him into P1? Alex Zakdal still on a lap, remember, which we will jump with, so that Francesco Sieti has moved himself temporarily up into P1, as in the background Alex Zakdal crosses the finishing line, and that promotes him back up to P1. That is a fantastic effort. Benjamin Eck currently a couple of tenths of a second down up from his personal best lap. 7th stays 7th. Manuel Novak, one of the other drivers, still on a lap at the moment. So Novak just coming on the exit of the final chicane into the final corner in the Ferrari, I think that is. Yes, it is. Helps if I read the, just above the windscreen. And Manuel Novak P10 stays P10. Whoa. So, ladies and gentlemen, our grid for this race. I will just do some. We have some wet conditions. Funny that. So there we go. So we'll go from the back of the grid. So Thomas Nopek did not set a lap. Neither did Alan Brown. Rowdy Burns in P33. Mickey Taylor in 32. Nigel Woodard in 31. Mark GG in 30th. Techie Tom in 29. Joaquin Capsi in 28th. Mario Mariano in 27th. Jake DeShong in 26th, Julian Smith in 25th, Dylan Kaiser in 24th, Jordan May in 23rd, Usmanov in 22nd. Arcadio Tervino claims 2nd place in the GT4s in 21st, and Nico Veltman top of the tree for the GT4s in 20th overall. Charles Stewart in 19th, Anton Miranov in 18th, Gilles Van Dale in 17th, the Spider Monkey Mark Stewart in 16th, Christopher Gedman in 15th, Jay Brooker in 14th, Bugarin in 13th, Jan van Straten in 12th. Then we go Angela Scott in 11th, Sergio Azario starts the top 10 in 10th, Graham Potter in 9th, Manuel Novak in 8th, Benjamin Eck in 7th place, Adam Berry in 6th, Paul Sims in 5th place, Mel Kakabi in 4th, Rafael Canica in 3rd place, Francesco Sietti in 2nd, and top of the tree is Alex Zachdel. I've got a couple of minutes to get myself a drink. I will be back momentarily as I try and get rid of my face. There we go. So back in a moment. Hello, welcome back. We are almost at the start of the race. Remember, it's going to be a 75 minutes. These cars have been randomly selected beforehand. So hopefully they've subscribed to Coach Dave Delta. Conditions currently are wet. However, in 30 minutes, you can see that rain starts to subside. Is that going to play a part in terms of the strategy? We are hoping for a wet, dry race. As Alex approaches the final chicane, drivers now lining up in double file. because my video side of things has ended, I'm going to attempt to take off my dicky boom. Zagdal goes through that final corner. Sietti is next to him. Rafael Kaniko, Melka, Garby, Adam Berry, Paul Sims, Ben Eck, Novak, Potter are going to be our top 10, and Sergio are our top 10 drivers. Currently, Alex has a big lead going into turn 1 of Suzuka, always punishing the tyres, and these wet conditions through the opening part of the race are going to be interesting. There are a number of GT4s freeze right through the grid. Sietti gets the great start on the outside line though, going into turn 1. Zagdal falls behind. We have Rafael Kaninka is also there. Is Garby going to try and send it up the inside? No, but Sietti is leading from the beginning. Zagdal in 2nd place, Kaninka in 3rd, Garby in 4th place, Berry in 5th place. Then you got Sims in 6th, Eck in 7th, Novak in 8th place. Waiting for the timing boards to update. Further back down the grid, we are with Riley Burns, currently in 31st place in that American Muscle Mobile in the Chevrolet, in this battle with the GT4 free cars coming back through the grid. Benjamin Eck is having all sorts of hell going through the S's and has just managed to get away. hits another Lamborghini. Benjamin Eck has already gone to the pit. Maybe his race is run, let's hope not. Bulgarin in the Mercedes has a lot of flappy bonnet syndrome right on the front of car number 34. Let's hope that he manages to carry on. We have Alex Zagdal, hopefully on our screen, is now putting Sietti under pressure. These two will go head to head in next season's endurance event, as Alex Zagdal goes into Spoon, has a little bit of a lead over Adam Berry. Melka was another one of those drivers who potentially got caught up in that incident with Benjamin Eck. You can see a lot of front end damage to that BMW M4. Rafael is managed to get that place back over, so Benjamin Eck, as you can see, has gone into the pit and is starting to fall down the grid. Kaninka under pressure from Paul Sims directly behind. Van Straten has moved his way up to 6th place. Potter in 7th, Scott in 8th, Novak in 9th, Bulgarin in 10th, Sergio is in 13th place. Let's have a see where some of our GT3 drivers are. So Christopher Gedman currently in 18th place. Tom Brunel is going up to 130. That is a lot of front end damage. Mark GG is going through the chicane, currently in 31st place. The mighty Ginetto of Mario Mariano in 32nd place. But top of the tree, Zagdal has fallen quite a bit. Well, he did look like he had fallen quite a bit, and he has indeed, into 5th place. Not quite sure what's happened. I'm not willing to press a replay button because I got a funny feeling anything that can go wrong today will go wrong, as our leaderboards are slowly updating. Kaninka is being put under pressure from Sims behind. Sims moves out, decides not to go for the overtake into Degner 1 and instead backs out, but Sietti currently has a decent lead out in front of 4 seconds from Kaninka, from Sims, from Berry, who's 2.5 seconds behind. Remember, strategy is going to be key. If any of these drivers want to not do a pit stop, not do tyres, then that could potentially be advantage. However, with track conditions potentially changing, that could be risky. Potter in 7th place at the moment, trying to chase down Van Straten. It's all going to be how quickly these drivers can adjust to these guys. I'll put my teeth back in soon. It's all going to be how quickly these drivers can adjust to using a different car. Generally, you pick your preferred car and you use that one week in, week out. So you have a bunch of setups already created. You know the steering lock. It's like getting into a second home. However, for today, none of these drivers have had an opportunity to prepare, remember. So it could be quite a mixed race. Nico Veltman leading the GT4s by 7 seconds. He's trying to chase down Christopher Gedman in front. We do have Alan Brown trying to come through the field in his Audi in car number 738. He will have a lot more power on the straights than any of these drivers which are near him, so he has the opportunity to get out the corner and make that pass. It will be a silly driver who tries to make a move into a corner, especially in these conditions. Anton is also in a GT3 car. We have Neil Woodard, Nigel Woodward. We have Joaquin Capsi go for a spin in a Maserati. Remember, Maserati has 0 traction control. Recently being released on the GT2 pack in January. That will be an interesting one. We've got Tom Brunel and Melker Garby has been in the pits. Benjamin Eck is leaving the pits, so he's going to try and have a run through the field. Back to the top of the grid. Leading the way is Siete Corsas, Francesco Siete. In second place, Paul Sims. Adam Berry starting to put Kaninka under some pressure. Alex Zachdel's trying to make his way back through the grid, overtaking Graham Potter. Jarl van Straten also manages to get through there as well. I will have an opportunity one day to figure out why the game does not fit inside the screen. But Jay Brooker in his Honda is putting Yildiz Divan in his Audi under some pressure. Remember, this is Land of Godzilla. The Nissans and the Hondas hopefully will perform well in their home track. Nico has an 8.3 second lead in the GT4s. A little bit of a group forming behind Jarl van Straten, who's just fallen a second behind Alice? Who the is Alice? Jarl van Straten is currently just heading Potter, heading Scott, heading Novak. I have no idea where Sergio is. Sergio is all the way down in 32nd place. He's had to have a pit stop, so that is his mandatory pit stop completed. Neil Woodward is looking to try and move his way through the grid, through some of these GT4 cars, and that was an easy pass on Rowdy Burns. A couple of laps down, of course, is Benjamin Eck. He has completed his stop, but undoubtedly should have to pit again. Mickey Taylor is trying to make a move on the Trevino and has made a move on Trevino in the McLaren 570S. I have driven this car once back in PlayStation 5 days, and it has awful brakes. Nopek is also trying to come through as well in the KTM, but this is going to be more GT4 on GT4 action. But last time around was 0.4 of a second quicker than Artem. Just trying to see if there is any battles brewing. So Kaninka's been overtaken by Adam Berry. Adam Berry now moves up into 3rd place. He is 1.6 seconds behind Paul Sims, who is a further 6 seconds back from Francesco Siete. Jarl van Straten has lost a few places in his Nissan and is now down in 10th place. Let's have a look through some of the runners and riders and what positions have been gained and lost. So a big winner has been Thomas Nopek, has gained 15 positions. Alan Brown has gained 13 positions. Both drivers starting from the back of the grid. Sergio Azario's lost 22 positions, Melka Gardby's lost 29, and Benjamin Eck has lost 28 positions as well. Rafael Kaninka has lost 1 position, dropped down into 4th place from 3rd. Alex Zakdal's lost 4 positions. Ziels van Dale has gained 6 places, same as Charles Stewart. Mickey Taylor's also gained 15 places from the start, so a couple of drivers moving and losing. Angela Scott is putting Emmanuel Novak under pressure. And Van Straten has been overtaken by Gilles Van Dale as well. Apologies if I don't look organised, and that's because I'm not this evening. If you joined us right from the beginning of the stream, you would have seen the event which we tried to put on tonight, and this is all leading up to the end of the year's events. So just in front you saw Manuel with that flappy bonnet of that Mercedes flapping around. Remember, we have a number of different cars out on track which you would not normally see. You can see the ballast on the right hand side as well. So Siete leading the way in the Porsche 991 2 GTR, Paul Sims in the Lexus, Berry in the 650S, and Kaninka all with minus 40 kg ballast. Zakdal has plus 5 in the McLaren. Potter has minus 5, so lots and lots of different cars with lots and lots of different types of ballast, all trying to compete on this very damp surface here in Suzuka. Mark GG going heading up towards the hairpin. Is he going to make a move down? No, he chooses not to on Anton Mironov, and that's probably for the best. So Nopek has managed to get past Mironov. He's now trying to follow Alan Brown through the field. Alan Brown has moved up into 20th position, has Usmanov, Trevino and Veltman to go in the GT4s. Mickey Taylor is looking to try and pass Nico Veltman, who is in the BMW M4 GT4 car. And that was a nice simple move there by Mickey Taylor, who will be competing in next season's endurance event. Charles Stewart thinking about a move on Jay Brooker, deciding against it. Jelle van Straten is a couple of tenths of a second behind, although he does look a little bit further back than that. Charles Stewart and Mathey Racing try and chase down Jay Brooker, or has Jay Brooker just got past? Adam Berry is now starting to put some pressure on Paul Sims in P2. Berry is an extremely quick driver, although in unfamiliar surroundings. We'll be looking to put on a win. We've had 5 laps already here at Suzuka. We're just approaching the hour mark. Is Adam going to make a move into Spoon? Probably not for this moment. You can see that that McLaren looming large just behind Paul Sims in the Lexus, going down the straight, heading up to 130R now. Lots of spray for Adam to contend with behind. Let's try and have a look from Adam's view and the visibility or lack of visibility that he has going through 130R, trying to keep that car on the straight and narrow. Runs slightly wider on the exit into the chicane. Sims goes defensive. Adam jumps the curb first of all, trying to get a better exit. Going through the final corner, Adam should be able to get the power down earlier, but again, look at that visibility he's gonna have to contend with. Note to self: can of Coke is probably not. Oh, that's rear end contact. And a little bit of bump and run from Adam Berry, and he's moved up into 2nd place. It'd be interesting to see if the stewards have the opportunity to look at that after the race, but he has now moved up into P2. Paul Sims, fortunately, though, is able to continue. We've got Jay Brooker has gone into the pits. Not sure if that is for damage or not, but unfortunate for him. Mark GG is looking to pass Trevino. Arcadio and has managed to do so into 130R. Usmanov is the driver trying to chase him down. What happened to Arcadio? Arcadio's lost another position to Usmanov, and Usmanov moves up into second place. So Usmanov in the Alpine as probably one of the most powered GT4 cars at the moment. Remember, no BOP for the GT4 cars. I built one, but nobody tested it. Thomas Nopek now up into P21, P4 for the GT4 cars. Melker Garby moving his way through the grid, or back through the grid, is going side by side with Neil. Not sure, that's Dylan Kaiser in the GT4 car. And there is Melker Garby trying to chase down now Neil Woodward. Sergio Azario is passing Dylan Kaiser. Any late entrants, they were forced to go into the GT4 cars, so hopefully he's enjoying his experience in FRL. Benjamin Eck is back out on track and now going through the process of unlapping himself, as well as trying to gain as many positions. Graham Potter has gone off the track through 130R, and that's dropping Potter many positions down to 8th, and successfully manages to rejoin in front of Manuel with that floppy bonnet syndromed Mercedes. So Potter is dropped down to P8 after that spin through 130R. Best lap of the race so far by Francesco Sietti with a 2:08.0. Adam Berry with a 2:08.7, so still 0.7 of a second behind in terms of fastest lap. But remember, Adam has had to come through a fair bit of traffic. Last time around, however, was still just under a second slower on that lap, so that gap currently is extended. Melker Garby now right on the rear of Neil Woodward as they go into Spoon. Melker goes for that move up the inside and completes it successfully. Something's telling me that Neil is not enjoying Reiter life. Big gaps developing. Mickey Taylor is 15 seconds behind Christopher Gedman in 14th place. Chris is having a good race so far. Gilles Van Deel is a couple of tenths of a second behind Manuel. Manuel, you can see and probably remember, has damage on the front end of that Mercedes. It'll be interesting to know how much these drivers have fueled up and are going to try and go for as long as possible on these wet tyres. Temperature is relatively warm, so once the rain stops, it should potentially dry out quite nicely. Jan van Straten again, just looking at visibility as they go into Spoon. Interesting to see how long he has to delay on putting the power down, and now puts the foot down and takes off. We've got Graham Potter in front. Last time around here span goes very, very wide, and track limits are going to potentially be an issue as we go later on in the race. That minus sign of 30 minutes time in terms of rain, and it'll be interesting to see what starts to come out from that. Remember, the temperature is 21 degrees air temperature, 26 on track, so as soon as that rain stops, it should potentially ease off. Let's have a quick recap on our GT4 stand-ins. So Alan Brown has just managed to pass Nico Veltman. So our GT4 stand-ins are Capsi currently at the back of the grid, Mario Mariano not doing the Ginetta proud in 10th place. There we go. Then we got Julian Smith in 9th, Riley Burns in 8th place, Kaiser in 7th place, Jake DeShong in 6th, Jordan May in 5th. Then we've got Nopek having battle with Arcadio in for podium places. Nopek, remember, started right at the back of the grid. Trevino started towards the front of this GT4 grid. Usmanov in 2nd place. Then we've got Nico Veltman currently with a 12.5 second lead. If we look at our GT3 standings, Nopek is going to attempt to make a move down the inside in the KTM. No, he's not. McLaren runs a lot wider. Nopek has the power down. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? He's side by side as they cross the start-finish line. No, he's not. He's about a car length behind and falls into place for turn 1. We will keep an eye on that battle. Our GT3s, Mark GG is in the pit, so our top 10 are Van Straten, Bulgarin, Potter, Scott, Novak, Kanika, Zakdal, Sims, Berry and Sietti, as still Nopek is challenging every single direction of Arcadio. Runs a little bit wide, has the inside line for the final part of the S's, as now we go down to approach Degner 1, and that move has been made. Thomas Nopek moves up into 19th place overall and 3rd place in the GT4s. Sort of different buttons. Angela Scott going down the start-finish straight is challenging Potter in 7th place. Remember, Potter's had that spin. That Maserati is not looking well in the back range. Trying to see if there are any other battles. So Gedman is right on the back of Stewart. Stewart, I remember him driving the V8 in one of the rookie season. I know Christopher Gedman drives the Porsche quite regularly, but Chris is doing well in P14 and one of those drivers that generally has limited practice time. So this could be finally the event that suits Gedman and his strategy to racing. Neil Woodward is making his way through these GT4 cars, just stuck behind Jordan May at the moment. We will go back to Gedman versus Stewart, as Gedman takes 130. Oh, that's Woodward. That's the one I wanted. As they head towards the hairpin into the braking zone, going to be difficult to follow any car in these conditions. Again, still that minus sign next to the rain in 30 minutes is going to be making these drivers think about their strategies and going for long fuel potentially in the hope that this rain subsides. Track conditions are still wet. You can see a drier line on the track, but the rain is still falling here in Japan. Gonna have a look at Sergio overtaking Thomas Nopek for 20th place overall, but that won't affect Thomas in the slightest. He's going for that crown in GT4s. We've got Anton, who's just gone off through turn 1 in the Lamborghini, and another driver struggling. We've got Neil Woodward was going slow, but he is on track. We've got Jordan May falling down the grid, trying to find him. He is in the pits. Not quite sure what happened with Jordan. Anyway, top of the tree. So Sietti still has an 8-second lead. Last time around, the lap times were 208.7s for both Berry and Sietti. Paul Sims still there in 3rd place, a couple of seconds in front of Alex Zakdal. Rafael Kaninka in 5th place. Novak, Paul Sims has gone off the track, and is that going to allow Alex Zakdal? And it does allow Zakdal to go into 3rd place. And that is Riley Burns just in the distance, a GT4 car, but Paul Sims now falls out of the podium spots into 4th place. So now these GT4, oh, Berry was going sideways through that final corner. We've already had 25 minutes of this race. Paul Sims is back up and running. Zekdel's fastest lap is 0.5 of a second quicker than Alex's. However, that time around he was 2.5 seconds quicker because Paul had that off. Van Straten is now back on the rear of Manuel for battle for 9th place. As we'll stay on board with Jelle Van Straten going down the start-finish straight. Move there, we've got Mario moving out of the way in that GT4 car for Gedman and Stewart going down the start-finish straight. We still have 50 minutes left of this race. Still a lot to play for with strategy potentially. Van Straten is all over the back now of Manuel, going for the S's. Listening to the Nismo, that GTR, and how he has to delay putting that throttle down coming out of Degner 1 into Degner 2. Garin manages to pass that KTM and is going to try and get the power down, but that GT4 is not going away. Needs to be careful, especially in these conditions when making the passes on the GT4 class, to make sure it is made safely and securely, and indeed that time it was. Gedman has dropped a couple of tenths behind, just over a second behind Mark Stewart. Top of the grid this time around was a 209.7 for Sietti and Berry with a 209.0. But these both drivers are coming up to quite a lot of traffic now, and that is a GT3 Honda in front of Sietti. Sietti is going to want that to be passed as soon as possible, but always difficult to pass through the S's. Moves to the inside for the final part and should be able to get a nice safe exit. Remember, Berry is going to have to do the same as well. That is a KTM in front. I've got a funny feeling that may be Mr. Nopek, is it? Yes, it is. Nopek gets on the wet stuff and goes very, very slidey. An interesting rear wing on that KTM, and an interesting way of running through the track. So lap times. So Nopek has moved up into 2nd place. Usmanov has dropped down to 4th place. So you can only assume that they have had an off. But Nico Veltman still leads our GT4 class in that BMW M4. Jordan May is back out on track after having his pit stop. So there are a number of drivers who have completed their pit stops, most notably going right to Gardby in 17th place. Sergio has completed his in 18th, Brooker in 20th place. Anton Miranov, so Jordan May has gone back to the pits. I think that maybe Jordan's race has run and he is not enjoying the GT4 class in the slightest. Adam Berry is now closing in Sietti. That time around was a second faster, with the earlier pass on the GT4 potentially helping. Sietti in 1st place now has a lead of 5.7 seconds. Van Straten and Bugarin still going at it. Bulgarian has that damage as we go into the final chicane. The wider line is going to be taken from Van Straten, going to try and get the switch back on the exit potentially and get a better exit going through the final corner down the start-finish straight, but Bulgarian still has a comfortable lead, and that Merc will sit down, squat and go. Yellow flag somewhere on track. That is Sergio. Has Degner 2 catches another victim. Benjamin X still running a lap behind a lot of these GT4 cars, but it's slowly starting to catch. So is Tom Brunel. Currently completed 10 laps. Our leaders have completed 13 laps in total, but that gap in front is starting to come down. You can see there's a Honda just behind, goes spinny, and that is Jay Brooker just getting up and mobile. But it would have been a squeaky bum moment there for Adam Berry, I am sure. This time around, that gap last time closed by a second, as Francesco Sietti coming down the start finish straight now with a 209.1. So that's not going to be a good lap, especially when 1.3 seconds quicker is Adam Berry. That gap is now 5 seconds between our top two drivers. And this gap is worthwhile to keep an eye on. You can see now with no cars in front of him, although the rain is still coming, in 10 minutes it is going to start to decrease, and in 30 minutes it's going to decrease even more. Maybe those drivers who went for big fuel tanks will have a bit of an advantage come the end of the race. Charles Stewart looking for a move, and here's Valdale. Jordan May is sadly in the pits, and I think actually sadly has jumped out. Anton Usmanov is having a pit stop. Charles Stewart currently trying to chase down Jean Van Dale. Van Straten is still all over the back of Manuel in the battle for P9 now as they come through the S's. Brady Burns has lost a place. Dylan Kaiser, who is in 26th place. Dylan, a fellow American driver with Brady Burns. Usmanov coming out of the pits, so he's had their stop. Brooker is now 0.2 of a second and flying past Nico Veltman to make another pass, and now moves up into 18th place. Where is the Gedminator? The Gedminator has passed Stewart and is now 14 seconds behind, as we see Charles Stewart trying to get his car. He has managed to get that Porsche in front of Van Dale now, going down into Spoon, into the braking zone. Van Dale is not going to be trying to give up the ghost. See, just dabbing on the throttle, keeping a minimal amount of throttle going through Spoon as possible. So now go out of the corner into 130R. That Audi is interesting on the throttle. See Bulgarian in front still, and as this time, yes, he has. Van Straten has finally managed to find his way past Bulgarian into 9th place, but a massive gap of 10 seconds to Angela Scott in front. Graham Potter is now a couple of tenths of a second behind Manuel Novak in the fight for 6th place. Kaninka is having a quieter race, 8 seconds behind and then 10 seconds in front. Sims hasn't dropped that much. to Zakda. That's only a 3.5 second gap, as we can see. Paul Sims passing Nico Veltman in a mixed class encounter there. Van Dale is now still a couple of tenths of a second. That delay of being able to get down that power is really costing that Audi against the Porsche. So have a quick cap in with our GT4 class. So Nico Veltman still leads the way from Thomas Nopek, from Arcadio Trevino in 3rd place, De Jong in 4th place, Kaiser in 5th, Burns in 6th, Julian Smith is in the pits with Usmanov now moving up to 7th place, Mario Mariano into 9th place, and our 10th place driver is Joaquin Capsi in that Maserati. It's not going to be ideal conditions for him in the slightest, but is only 2 seconds behind Mario Mariano. You can just see in the foreground going into turn 1. Potter is just behind Manuel Novak in the fight for 7th place. Gap in front. Now the fastest lap is owned by Adam Berry with a 207.4. Last time around was still a second quicker than Francesco Sietti, although Adam Berry has to pass Mario Mariano in the GT4 car and successfully has managed to do that quite quickly. Sietti has no immediate traffic in front of him. There is a car just approaching, a GT3 and a GT4 car just exiting the hairpin now, so that will start to be a problem in the not too distant future. Let's move that out of the way from the track map. I'm sure that will upset Katie, me moving stuff around. Oh, that's me. I don't want that. Bulgarian is not letting Van Straten go. However, this is going to help going through the S's. He's going to have to take the long way around that KTM, and does so successfully, but that gap has now moved up to 1.2 seconds. Nico Veltman has an 18-second lead over Thomas Nopek. Woodward is contending with that Gallardo. He still has Nopek and Veltman to pass. Sergio Azario, remember, has completed a pit stop with Jay Brooker and Melka Garby, of the 3 highest positioned drivers who have completed their stop. Manuel Novak has indeed been passed by Graham Potter, so Graham Potter has now moved up into 6th place. So, is Graham going to survive 130? Yeah, he does indeed. And that Mercedes is now starting to grunt its way down. So that time around, with Adam Berry having to pass that Ginetta, was a little bit slower, although Francesco Sietti has just had to pass an Alpine, which Berry will have to do so as well. That time around was 1.2 seconds quicker. Sietti was 1.2 seconds quicker, which has brought that gap back up to 4.2 seconds overall. Charles Stewart is going side by side with Bulgarin.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
And we are halfway through this race. Still no real sign of this rain stopping. We remember the track conditions will go from wet, potentially to damp, to greasy, to dry. So still some considerable time until dry tyres will become optimal. If we get to that point, we currently see that the rain is slowly starting to die off. In 10 minutes we should start to see the first stage of the rain dropping off, and then in 30 minutes once more. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that forecast once we get past that 30-minute mark. and if it indeed will come dry. So we're back on board with Gilles Van Deel, who's right behind Bugarin. So Van Straten has managed to pass, Stewart has managed to pass. All these drivers will be trying to hang out this strategy, although Adam Berry has decided to go a little bit early. Maybe he's only fueled for half of the race and will likely have to go back to wet tyres for the rest of the race unless he decides to pit again. Or maybe he's just doing a splash and dash and just for some fuel. But Zakdal now moves up into second place, 20 seconds behind Francesco Sietti. Sietti is already on the exit of the S's, but Berry has still not yet moved. Manuel Novak is going to be passing in the Ferrari, so that's going to drop Berry even further. Just trying to keep an eye. I think that was only for fuel, because that was a 19-second stationary stop by Adam Berry, and will come out into a nice bit of space, although does have Novak to pass. Novak is putting pressure back on Potter. It looks as though Potter's potentially had an off as they go through the S's. We have 35 minutes left in this race. Any of the drivers that have used calculated for half the race in terms of fuel will have to pit. So we see Van Dale and Nopek, two of those drivers that have gone into the box. Berry has come out all the way up in 5th place, so still pretty handy. Sorry, 7th place. He's just behind this pack of drivers fighting it out, and will have to overtake them as well unless both of these drivers decide to pit. Mark Stewart has moved ahead of Van Deel, who has gone into the pits, and it looks as though this will be a full service for Van Deel. Mickey Taylor has gone ahead as well in P14. Mickey has yet to stop. Melker Garby has stopped, and he is now up into 15th place. Nico Veltman has 2 GT4 free cars in between himself and Arcadio, and Nopek is now just leaving the pits in the GT4. Van Deel has come out, and that was a 22-second stationary stop. So again, another one of those drivers just pitting for fuel and going to keep their tyres on. Francesco Zietti now has a far more comfortable 21-second lead. So again, understanding which drivers have pitted for fuel and which drivers have pitted for tyres is going to be key. Any of the teams that have just going to go for a splash and dash and hope for their tyres will last the hour and 15 minutes. That'll be an interesting strategy, but we don't necessarily know what the weather is going to do towards the end of the race. Currently it says that the rain is dying down in 10/30 minutes. Jay Brooker, where are you, Jay? There you are, just in front in the Castrol Honda Racing Team in number 18. Melker Garby is now 0.2 of a second and has indeed passed, going around the outside of Spoon, past Mickey Taylor, and has now moved up into 14th place. Adam Berry is right on the back of the Maserati and also Manuel Novak, and in fact just breezes through. We'll try and have a look and see what happened that caused Manuel to drive off. So we're on board with Manuel Novak, just going through the S's into the braking zone. Tries to go round the outside of the Maserati. Maserati just ended up going straight on, and unfortunately Manuel Novak was a victim of that, which gives Adam Berry a nice easy position up into P6. Alan Brown approaching Nico Veltman, who will be rather helpless in that GT4 car against the GT3 Power. Although, you see, Nico has managed to pull away. Alan will be nervous on the throttle. As we see, Rowdy Burns going very wide through the exit of Spoon. This should now be an easy pass for Alan Brown to move up into 19th position. And at top speed, that GT3 should absolutely fly away, but has only just cleared that GT4 car as they go into 130R, and Alan runs very wide, too wide, joins. Oh! Nico, how's your pants? That was unbelievably close. Obviously, Alan had absolutely zero control of that car. And was very, very fortunate not to collect any of the cars. So Adam Berry now in 6th place, 2.7 seconds behind Graham Potter. Graham has yet to pit. Adam has pitted, and we'll be hoping that his early pit stop is going to give him much benefit. So at the point where that half-hour original weather forecast is in full effect. Benjamin Eck, remember, went out right at the beginning of the race into the pits in car number 1. Has now managed to claw himself up to 13th place. Usmanov is in the pits for his 2nd stop and is just coming out in the Alpine. Tom Brunel, Techie Tom, yet to has had one pit, but yet to get on parity. We're down to 34 drivers now. Francesco Sietti leads the way. Oh! Squirrely moment into the braking zone for the Porsche driver. He knows he's going to potentially be under pressure from the massive undercut so far from Adam Berry, who just stopped for fuel, 19 seconds of fuel. Sietti will be hoping that the conditions change. Mark Stewart has pitted and has fallen now behind Jay Brooker. We can see Mark just coming out of the pits, and that looked like a full service of 37 seconds in the pit stop. So the pit lane time, or the moving time, is roughly 30 seconds by the looks of things. Quickest time through the pits has been 31.8 by Adam. Our quickest stop so far has been 10.3 seconds by Anton. Longest stop is by Benjamin Eck at 252 seconds. So still more traffic for Francesco to navigate. Trying to keep a tag on the GT4s as well. Nopek is 20 seconds behind Kaiser. He's a further 5.5 behind De Jong and a further 17 seconds behind Arcadio. Mark GG has pitted and is starting to move his way up through the grid, now 4.8 seconds behind Miranov, who has, remember, had that 10.3 second stop. Neil Woodard. Neil Woodward is in 21st place. Next car on his agenda will be our GT4 leader, Nico Veltman, in that BMW M4. And leaning large in his rear view of that Mercedes is starting to become Graham Potter. We got Jay Brooker, who falls once again a victim of 130R in that Honda. So still 34 cars out on track. Mario Mariano in the interesting team name. So that time around, with that off, was a 2 minute and 12 seconds by Francesco Sietti. Zachtel popped in a 208.7, Paul Sims 209.1, Raphael 210. However, our fastest driver on track currently is, by no surprise, is Adam Berry, who's just about to come up to, he's closing in on Graham Potter in front. Last time around though, only 1/10 of a second quicker. Just a quick prompt, both Masters and Rookies sign-ups are ready for next season. If you go visit our SimGrid site, you have the opportunity to sign up. We also have a couple of other events, and in a week Saturday we commence our 2024 Endurance season. It would have been nice to see these two drivers compete. Just seeing Adam Berry overtaking the KTM of Thomas Nopek. If you could see these two drivers go head to head in GT3 cars at some point in the not too distant future. Jay Brooker is on the back of the Spider Monkey Mark Stewart. Both drivers have indeed stopped. Melka Garby is also stopped. He's in P13. Jake DeShong goes for a pit from P25, so it's starting to come to the point where these fuel tanks are going to potentially start to look depleted. The forecast has not necessarily changed too much. Spider Monkey goes a little bit deep into the chicane. Jay Brooker all over the back. There's Thomas Nopek rather helplessly in his KTM. Potter has gone into the pits. Let's keep an eye on the the stop time and see whether that is going to be a full serve. That moves Angela Scott up into P7, Novak into P6. So Potter is not yet up and running, and he is now up and running. So that was definitely a stop just for fuel. Sergio Azario is off the track somewhere. There he is, coming out of Degner 2. Not having a fun time in that Audi. And after the Christmas event, I'm sure he was hoping to not race in the Audi as soon as this. Remember, all our race streams on PlayStation 5 and PC are all here on the FRL channel, so please give us a like and a subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any racing action. We have the Masters and Endurance. We also have the Masters and Rookies coming up in the next couple of weeks kick off. We also have the 12 hours of Hungaroring a week Saturday. We have the long run and the Italian job series, which take place on the Wednesday, and we start to give the older cars some love in the retro revival event, which will take place on Sundays. Paul Sims has also gone into the pits. So Graham Potter's stop was 13.8 seconds, which drops him down to 11th place. Bugarin has yet to pit despite carrying some heavy damage. We've got 20 minutes left of this event. I don't think it's going to get dry. Even if the rain stopped now, it might struggle to get dry towards the end of the race. So it may be the point where you give up the ghost in around 7 minutes time and do a full service, or just pit for fuel and hope for your tyres will last the remainder of the race. We see Bugarin passing Rowdy Burns in that GT4 car. Sims has left the pits. That was a 12.8 second stop, and he moves up into 7th place. Still yet to stop Sieti, Zachtel, Kaninka, Novak, Scott, Van Straten. Stewart is in the pits, and Bugarin is yet to stop and has carried on for another lap. Christopher Gedman is yet to stop as well as he goes into the final chicane, currently in 12th place. And will also carry on for another lap, is he? Nope. There is Gedman going into the pits. We're yet to see a stop and go, so all these drivers are performing well in these damp conditions. Veltman's also pitted. Stewart is in the pits and is off he goes. Managed to put the power down. How long was that stop? It didn't look very long at all. In fact, it was 12.1 seconds long. So that was definitely a stop just for fuel. So a lot of these drivers are risking it for a biscuit and hoping that their tyres will last them the race and that the conditions do not get drier. Thomas Brunel has finally gained a position up into third place. Joaquin Capsi, who gets my Medal of Honor award for carrying on in that Maserati, and that cannot be a pleasant experience to spend your night your Thursday night in a Maserati. Paul Sims on the back of Angela Scott as overtaking Nopek in that GT4 car. So freshly with a bunch of fuel, looks towards the inside of 130R. This could potentially end in disaster. It doesn't. Angela Scott goes for the switchback for 130R and manages to keep the place by the looks of things as they head into the braking zone for the chicane. Decent amount of room given by Angela. Although Sims nearly runs into the back and will have to attempt to make the move now down into turn 1. Gets a quite a good exit down the start finish straight, almost alongside already as they approach the braking zone, or as they cross the line going into the braking zone for turn 1. It looks as though Paul is going to get the position. No, Angela runs a little bit wide. It's going to all be down who gets the power down earliest out of turn 1, and Paul Sims moves up into 6th place. And that was very, very clean racing by both drivers. Graham Potter in 9th place. Bugarin is in the pits and will finally get that damage repaired potentially, or will he? Fastest lap for Bugarin was a 2:11.7. So I'd fancy Bugarin to be probably a little bit quicker than that, but Zagdell is now only 17 seconds behind Francesco Sietti. Lap times are looking very similar, of 2:08.7 last time. Actually no, Zagdell crosses the line with a 2:08.1. Or it was last time crossed the line with a 2:08.1. Get a little bit squirrely on exit. Christopher Gedman gets a drive through. That will be speeding on the exit of the pit lane, not the entrance. Zagdell sets that lap as a 2:08.2. Bugarin is underway. That was a 14.4 second stop, so that damage wasn't repaired. Zagdell laps Bugarin. Remember, Zagdell yet to pit, Sietti yet to pit, Kaninka yet to pit, Van Straten we've had a yellow flag. I'm not sure as to why, because Van Straten is facing the right way and is on the black stuff. So we have 18 minutes left of the race. We are looking at, I'm sure the drivers are, as much as I am, looking at the forecast. Adam Berry is just looking at the cars in front of him. 6.4 seconds behind Rafael Kaninka, is in front of Manuel Novak. Novak is yet to stop. Kaninka's yet to stop. Zagdell's yet to stop as well. Our GT4 battle. Let's have a look. So Veltman has indeed stopped and retains the lead. Kaiser has yet to stop, just passing that. Well, he is in the BMW. So Kaiser, he's yet to stop, currently in 2nd place. Novak, Thomas Nopek is in 2nd place. Trevino in 3rd place. Trevino in 4th. Jake DeShong in 5th. Bowdy Burns in 6th. Osmanov in 7th. We've got a car facing the wrong way, and that is still, unfortunately, the Joaquin Capsi in the Maserati. I'm sure that gave the Porsche driver some squeaky moments, but Capsi again is not enjoying life in that Maserati, but still gets my Gold Star award, and I genuinely hope he has not regretted this experience. But that is the luck or unluckiness of the mystery box race. 16 minutes left of this event. Let's have a look at the lap time. So Berry last time around did a 209.57. So in terms of predictions, I was hoping it was going to show me something. So Sieti's just coming up to lap. Is that mark GG potentially? I think it is. So mandatory stops 1, minimum stop time. So, see if it gives me any information. Nope. So it looks as though Kaninka has indeed. Oh, Kaninka's gone off and is given Adam Berry some flashing lights. Let's have a look, see if we can see what happened with Kaninka. So just under power. 488 finally gives up the ghost, then rejoins. Lucky to avoid Adam Berry, to be honest, on that rejoin, but that moves Adam Berry now up to 3rd place, currently 55 seconds behind. If he replicates what Berry did in terms of 31 seconds through the pit lane, 19 seconds stationary, then that's going to be 50 seconds. So it looks as though Berry will come out in front as it stands, but Sieti is yet to stop. The track is still wet and has no real signs of drying. Alan Brown now over the back of Christopher Gedman. Remember, these two drivers know each other from PlayStation and PC. Alan probably has second most races behind Christopher Gedman overall in Formula Racing League. I personally am absolutely starving. I didn't get an opportunity to eat prior to this, so apologies if I'm starting to flag. Rafael Kaninka has gone into the pits, and that looks as though Capsy is the driver behind, going for their 3rd stop. So Kaninka has been dropped by the pit crew and is up and running once again. How long was that stop for the Ferrari driver? That was an 8-second stop. Oh, that just suggests how quick the time, the amount of fuel that these drivers have to put in. If that was 8 seconds, then that gives Sieti an opportunity. Although that was a slow moment there for Francesco Sieti. This time around, he is going to go into the pits. So Francesco Sieti pits from the lead. Let's hope that's not a stop and go, and it doesn't look as though it is. So first of all, first to go through the chicane will be Alex Zakdal. He will take over the lead unless Alex decides to pit, which he does not. So Alex Zakdal, the Swedish driver, moves into the lead. Where is Adam Berry? Adam Berry's just gone through Spoon. Francesco Sieti has not yet moved, so we're going to try and keep an eye, although the pit crew have dropped him down, and Francesco Sieti will move away as Adam Berry goes through 130R, and Sieti should have a comfortable lead, and that pit stop was 7 seconds long. So barely any fuel put into Francesco's car, and we'll have a clear lead. Looking over, Alan Brown is the driver behind. So with 12 minutes remaining, Adam Berry is in third place, but second place overall. Alex Zakdal yet to stop from our lead drivers. Manuel Novak in 4th place, yet to stop as well. Same as Angela Scott. Jay Brooker has once again fallen foul of 130. Oh, joining in front of Kaninka is not going to make you popular in the slightest. Christopher Gedman now just behind Alan Brown. Alan Brown runs wide through Spoon onto the exit. He's going to hope that he gets a better exit. Remember, Christopher Gedman had a drive-through which he served a few moments ago, but currently in P19 will be happy with his race so far. We have a Maserati just in front going through 130R. Gedman looks left, then looks right. The Maserati is going to be a bit of a bottleneck. We have a driver who's gone off through 130R, which will be rejoining. The Maserati runs wide, and that Thomas Brunel in the M6, another driver who doesn't look like they've enjoyed himself. Kaiser has a drive-through in the GT4 class. Thomas Brunel in 33rd place. Not had fun in the slightest. Christopher Gedman has indeed overtaken Alan Brown. Alan Brown moves right hand side of the track for the inside line into turn 1. Gedman runs extremely wide, and that should gift Alan Brown that position back up to 18th place. So Berry, after that early pit stop, has fallen 15 seconds behind, and no sign of that rain relenting in the next 10 minutes, so I think it will be here to stay. So our leader is Alex Zakdal. He's going to be hoping that he can have a very similar pit stop time to Francesco, maybe even less, with a little bit less running left to do in this race. Also yet to stop is Angela Scott. We have Neil Woodward has also yet to stop in P21, however probably too far down the grid to really affect things as he goes past Thomas Brunel quite easily. Christopher Gedman has gone back in front of Alan Brown as they go into 130R. Mark GG is also involved in the fun with the Audi driver. He's going to go for the inside move down into Spoon. No, he is not. So the Huracan driver managed to stay there. Another driver to receive a drive-through is Thomas Nopek. Mark GG almost pushing Alan Brown through the exit of Spoon, getting the power down side by side. Little bit of door banging as they go into 130R, into the braking zone, or lack of braking zone. Probably extreme lift going through 130R. In fact, GG lifts a little bit more than Alan Brown, and GG moves up into 19th position. Eyes firmly set on Christopher Gedman in front. Remember, Gedman last time around overshot turn 1, which is going to keep Mark GG very, very interested. So drive-throughs in the GT4 class for Thomas Nopek and Kaiser. Kaiser will not have long until he has to serve that drive-through, I am sure. So GT4 is around about 10 seconds slower. Alex Zakdal now moves into the pits. That should gift Francesco Sietti first place. I am pretty sure it will. So Sietti exiting the final corner down the start-finish straight. He's hoping that all his calculations are being spot on, and he has enough fuel to last the rest of the race. So Sietti moves into first place. Where is Adam Berry? Adam Berry is just coming through the final corner now. Zakdal has yet to be plonked down. I think that was him just being plonked down. But Adam Berry should comfortably take second place. Paul Sims in fourth place going through 130R now. So Zakdal has left, and that was a 7.3 seconds stop. So slightly slower through the pit lane and 0.3 of a second slower filling up. Angela Scott yet to stop in the Nissan has performed extremely well in these treacherous conditions. Our lead I've just seen Alex Zakdal gets a stop and go 30 seconds. And that's going to drop him quite far down. Rafael Kaninka gets a drive through as well. Melker Garby moving his way up through the grid after that early accident in the BMW M4 right on the back of Manuel Novak. Novak has stopped. His stationary time was 6.8 seconds. Melker Garby goes for the move down the inside. Contact on the exit. And that Ferrari 488 is looking very battered and bruised. And you have to say, Melker got his elbows out quite a bit there going through that chicane, but gains the position and moves up into 8th place over Manuel Novak. Novak won't be overly happy, I'm sure, with that move. So Alex Zagdell, stop and go 30 seconds. Just goes past Thomas Brunel. As they approach Spoon. So probably better to serve that stop and go sooner rather than later. Will not want to get a drive through to further compound his misery, but that should promote Paul Sims up into a podium position. Angela Scott yet to stop, going through the hairpin now. That stop can't be too far away. I'm not sure how big the fuel tank is on the Nissan, but has performed extremely well so far. Mark GG, where are you? You are 0.3 of a second behind Christopher Gedman. So let's have a look. So still quite a lot of rain on the track for these drivers. We have 5 minutes left of the race. Again, every driver has stopped now. They will be feeling very comfortable that they don't have to stop for tyres. Gilles Van Dale is in 13th place, chasing Bulgarin. Zagdell is in the pits to serve his stop and go 30. Bulgarin has that fluffy bonnet syndrome, which he's had since very, very early on in the race. Novak has yet to serve his drive-through as well, but currently in 2nd place and 49 seconds ahead of Jake Deschamps. Nico Veltman has been faultless in the GT4 class today and looks relatively certain to claim that win. Gilles Van Dale going through Degnan 1 into Degnan 2. Seen a lot of drivers go off there. Still have 34 cars running. Honestly, I'm majorly impressed by the fact that a lot of these drivers have, despite being in cars that they don't know, have plugged away and kept going, and hats off. Again, but my medal of honour goes to Joaquin Capsi, who is unfortunately off again and has impacted Manuel Bulgarin. And Bulgarin, dodgy rejoin, has even worse flappy bonnet syndrome now. So we will try and have a look at what happened there. So going on exit, gets an exit quite clean away. Oh, a collision between the Lamborghini and then Bulgarin collects the Lamborghini. Ouch. That moves Van Deel up into 12th place. Kaninka now has a stop and go 30. Woodward has got a yellow flag for creating some new track limits through Spoon. Novak is serving his drive-through, but still feel pretty confident he'll come out in front. We've got Christopher Gedman, who is facing the wrong way, but rejoins safely in 19th place. That promotes Mark GG up into 18th place. Has Neil run out of fuel? I think he has. No other explanation as to why he is running so slowly into the final 2 minutes. He's now off the track. That's going to be the wall. That's going to be some damage. Allows Potter through. Neil's taking the escape road into the pits, hoping that none of the drivers will indeed. Nope, they don't. So Neil has made it to the pits and will be hoping that he has enough fuel. So with that stop and go 30, it's going to be Swede battle. Swede on Swede action. Garby versus Zakdal. Zakdal has come out after his stop and go just in front of Melka Garby. Garby now putting Alex under all sorts of pressures. Sims has been promoted into the podium, placed into third place. Potters into fourth. Zakdal fifth. Garby sixth. Scott coming out of the pits. That was 11 seconds for Scott in terms of stationary time. So there was obviously some repairs. Zakdal gets very, very squiggly on the power, and Melka gets squiggly on the grass. There's Nico Veltman being caught in the sandwich, and it's been punted off by both Zakdal and Garby. Garby still managed to hold the position. Final lap for Francesco Sietti to claim the win. 16.8 seconds ahead of Adam Berry. Last time around, Berry popped in a 207.8. Sietti 208.1, but I don't think that's going to be enough time. So coming out of the pitches, Kaninka flashing his lights over Alan Brown, but as far as I was concerned, he crossed the white line too early, unless that was an apology flash. But Nico Veltman is fortunately back up and running. Nopek is 56 seconds behind, but halfway through the lap is Sietti. Mickey Taylor has got a yellow flag. Has Mickey run out of fuel, possibly? As I see Melka going through just in front, so Garby is, and they will have one more lap to do battle. We've had 34 laps of this race so far, and fifth position is going to come down to anything that can happen in the last lap. Francesco Sietti, though, however, has been absolutely fantastic. Qualified in second place, took the lead right at the start of the race, was under some pressure from Adam Berry. Berry decided to go for the mass undercut. The weather conditions didn't change as potentially predicted. However, Francesco Sietti has been completely faultless, has 3 more corners to navigate, including a grass cutter just in front. We have a yellow flag through the final corner as Gedman allows Sietti to overtake. Yes, there is the yellow flag, and to win the mystery box event here at Suzuka as Francesco Sietti, and absolutely fantastic. Well done, Francesco. In second place will be Adam Berry. Again, went for that undercut, hoping the change in strategy would be beneficial. He is in second place. Fantastic result for him. Paul Sims in the Lexus is just coming up through 130R, will claim third place. So where is Nico? Where's Nico? Nico is quite far down, that's fine. So Paul Sims going through the final chicane. We have a car just off in the rear, which rather typically summarises how this race has gone for many. But yeah, third place will go to Paul Sims, and a terrific podium in the Lexus for Paul. Well done to you. Our GT4 winner is going to be Nico Veltman. Thomas Nopek has already finished the race in second place. Will Jake DeShong manage to get third place, I wonder? Jake DeShong is just crossing the line in the Chevrolet Camaro. So another American driver in some American muscle. So Jake DeShong will get third place in the GT4 class. Well done, Jake. And Nico Veltman just coming through the final chicane now will claim the GT4 class win, and another one of those drivers who qualified first place in his class and has not looked back since. Came under a little bit of pressure potentially from Thomas Nopek, however faltered with a drive through, but that is a beautiful, well-deserved win for Nico Veltman. Francesco Sietti going for one final tour of the track. Jelvin Stratton in 9th place will finish, with Charles Stewart just behind in 10th place. Anyone else still out on track? far as I'm concerned, that should be, yes, and indeed it is, everyone. So huge congratulations to Francesco Sietti, Adam Berry in second place. Paul Sims rounds out our GT3 class. Our race winner in GT4s has been Nico Veltman. Second place, Thomas Nopek. And in third place, Jake DeShong. A fantastic evening. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the stream. It has been a fun-packed event. We started off with the Formula Racing League end of season awards, and also our mystery box grid draw, our PS5 awards, PC awards, rFactor 2 awards, patron prize draw. Marco will be in touch shortly. But huge congratulations to every one of these drivers. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the event. Hopefully you guys had a great Christmas, and we look forward to seeing you once again in Formula Racing League in the new year. I have been the Pink Pig. I am knackered. I am starving. I wish you all a good night.